Where are you on this? Presumably, you're quite glad that the appeal court stepped in.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge defeat for the government. The judges found quite rightly that Rwanda isn't a safe country for refugees. I mean, I think the average man on the street could tell you that. And one of the reasons why they found that was because Rwanda has a 0% protection rate for refugees from Syria, Yemen, and Afghanistan. So it's quite obvious that Rwanda isn't safe for us to be sending refugees to. And it's also quite obvious that the government hadn't done its homework in order to be able to make sure that its big flagship plan was even the slightest bit workable. It's just more broken promises from this government, not addressing the issues that really impact our lives, failing us in here, there, and everywhere. The NHS in tatters, the cost of living soaring, and still they're going to pursue this costly appeal just to fight more battles, because it's about the fight for them, really, isn't it? Fight, not the flight. They want to be seen to be having these battles because they don't really have any answers.
And can you address the point that I've been hearing a lot today and that Jonathan made? Well, if the UNHCR reckons that Rwanda is unsafe, why is it recommending that some people in emergency cases be sent there?
The UNHCR's representations on this case are very clear in that they do not think it's appropriate for the UK to be shirking its responsibilities using the inequality of our superior economy, the fact that we're one of the richest countries in the world and Rwanda is one of the poorest countries in the world, to try to shift the responsibility of refugees and dump them on that country. That's what UNHCR thinks is wrong, because the UNHCR is set up to ensure that countries around the world do their fair share to share responsibility for protecting refugees. And that's what this scheme completely spits on.
So let's talk then about this notion of providing safe and legal routes into the UK, because this has always been a point that people raise. And the government says, well, how does that stop people traffickers in Calais taking money from people who don't qualify for refugee status?
Well, what we need to do, I mean, what the government actually has done one thing really well. They haven't managed much well, in my opinion, but they've done one thing great. And that's that they've provided a safe and legal route for Ukrainians to come to the UK. So not all Ukrainians have to stay in the first safe country they reach. We don't expect them all to stay in Poland or Moldova. We accept that some of them have family ties or other connections to the UK, other reasons why the UK seems to them to be the place where they'll be safe. So we created a visa. And guess what? There's no Ukrainians on those small boats. There's no problem with housing Ukrainians in these awful hotels in parts of the country that really don't have the resources to be supporting asylum seekers. And they're not trapped there with this threat of being sent here, there, or anywhere to Rwanda. Yeah, maybe one day, we'll see. I doubt it. They're instead just settling in, getting on with their lives. Their kids are in our schools. They're contributing to our communities. We've done it for Ukrainians. We can do it for other people.
Just a final